Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome back to the another chapter in biology, short-term classes. Today I am going to discuss about organisms and population. If you see the organism from the previous classes, you might have a knowledge. This organism is coming from different types of organ systems. Organ system is coming from organs, organ is coming from tissue, tissue is coming from cell. There is no doubt cell is the fundamental and functional unit of the life. Group of cells that are structurally, functionally and originally similar called tissue. Group of tissues together organize one function called organ. Group of organs meant for one particular physiological thing, that is the organ system. All organ systems together organism. Then group of organisms, this organism also can be considered as species or breed, like this. This organism, group of organisms that are having very similarity in the genetical makeup are called population. Population is the place where diversity can be seen, even in the same species with different habits and habitats. This population, group of population will become community. Group of community become ecosystem. Group of ecosystems become biome, landscape. Landscape, group of landscapes become biome. Group of biomes becomes biosphere. Biosphere also called ecosphere. Ecosphere. This is the final. And biosphere consists of different types of biomes. But the thing here is population is made up of a unit called organism. Ecosystem is made up of a unit is called population. Two important questions are here. Unit of population means organism. Unit of ecosystem means population. Unit of organism means cell. So this is A and this is B and this is C. What is A? A means a cell here. This is the unit of life, nothing but living being. And what is B? Population is the unit of ecosystem. And ecosystem is the unit of biosphere. So three important things, no need to confuse. Now, in the biosphere or in ecosystem or in a population, no organism can live alone. It needs some assistance from living beings and also non-living things. What I mean, organism that cannot live alone, it depends upon biotic and abiotic factors. Some living organisms also mutually benefited together with our organism. It has some interactions with that. And abiotic factors. What are abiotic factors? Like temperature, light, water, soil, pressure, so and so. So here, organism is never be always interact with another new living organism. Also, apart from the biotic, living things, non-living things are also important. That is what called ecology. In ecology, one organism is interacting with what? Another organism? Of course. Along with that, non-living things also. This class we will going to learn about. Before that, different types of interactions. Biome. What is a biome? It is a particular area which is composed of group of landscapes. The biome may be a desert. The biome may be a tundra. The biome may be a grassland. A biome may be a coniferous forest. Coniferous forest. A biome may be temporal forest. And it also may be tropical forest. A biome is decided by mean average temperature and mean average precipitation. If you see, this is the mean average temperature and this is mean average precipitation in short forms. If this is the desert, in case of desert, this is 20 to 30 degrees temperature annually. This is the important bit. Whereas mean average precipitation will be calculated in the centimeter. This is in the degrees Celsius temperature. Whereas here it will be 25 centimeters annually. So 25 centimeters the mean average precipitation plus 20 to 30 degrees of mean average temperature annually decides a desert. Whereas this is what? Biome. If you see the second thing, that is a tundra, whereas at the polar areas, cold regions, here minus 10 degrees Celsius to neutral 10 degrees or some 5 degrees temperature annually, average annually, whereas this is 25 centimeters. So mean average temperature and mean average precipitation together decide the biome. That is the tundra. That is another biome here. I hope you understand. Third one, grassland. If you see the grassland, this is about 25 degrees Celsius. Then here it would be 100 centimeters. 100 centimeters. So mean average precipitation is 100 centimeters and mean average temperature is 25 degrees. Decides a biome is called grassland. Bit may appear any of the column or together. So that is another biome. Next, coniferous forest. If you see the coniferous forest, this is 15 degrees Celsius, whereas 250 centimeters average. So conifer forest is one kind of biome in which mean average temperature would be 15 degrees Celsius per year, and whereas mean average precipitation is 250 centimeters. Whereas next one is temporal forest. In the temporal forest, if you see 25 degrees Celsius annually mean average temperature, whereas 200 centimeters is mean average precipitation. These two decides a particular biome, that is called temporal forest. The last one is a tropical forest. Tropical forest is decided by the 25 degrees, that is a tropical forest, whereas here it will be 400 till, means 250 to 250 centimeters to 400 centimeters mean average precipitation will be there. This box is so important. They may ask individual biomes respect to mean average temperatures or mean average precipitation, or else they mention in the question both the averages, and in the options any of the 4 biomes will be given suitable biome will have factors. What are abiotic factors? In the name itself there is a meaning, they don't have life, that's why abio. But they are non-living, even though they can influence the lifestyle of living organisms. What are they? That is temperature, light, water, and soil. Let us discuss how they are gonna influence other living organisms next. If you see the temperature, ultimate source is sun. From the sun there will be an enormous light that helps with the photosynthesis, so that all producers can prepare the food by the primary productivity. From the 10% law, from the 10% from one trophical level to another trophical level through consumers and the primary consumers, secondary consumers, higher consumers, everything passes. Now this temperature, according to the temperature, and the temperature is directly proportional to the metabolic activities. Metabolic activities means what? Enzymes actions. So that metabolism. If temperature is in optimum, metabolic activities are optimum. Temperature is not in optimum, it is maybe greater or lower, then metabolic activities also comes down. Means for every 10 degrees temperature will be, for every 10 degrees increase, metabolic activities will be double. Means every 10 degrees fall in the temperature, metabolic activities becomes half. This is Watt's law. And the second thing, if you see, the temperature also helps in some kind of organisms lifestyle. In case of animals, if you see, there are eurythermal. What are eurythermal? There are some simply regulators, not conformers, regulators. At any temperature, they can control their internal medium. Internal body will be stable. Unithermal, and another one is stenothermal. Stenothermal are conformers. These conformers never stick on a particular figure of the temperature in the body. They always use it to change their body temperature according to the changes happens outside. So that unithermal are regulators and stenothermal are conformers. Apart from that, in the animal, other thing you see homeothermus. Homeothermus. Homeothermus means what? Endothermus. Warm-blooded animals. Warm-blooded animals. What are the warm-blooded animals? Birds and mammals. These two are only. That's why these two are also regulators. Birds and mammals. And other animals are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means what? Poikilothermus. Poikilothermus. Animals are called cold-blooded. In that fishes, amphibians, reptiles, all these three will come. Lower vertebrates. Clear? Then, in that these two are lower vertebrates. Even the reptile is higher vertebrate, it is not warm-blooded. Some, suppose if you see the light, photoperiodism can be observed. Photoperiodism means what? During the presence of light, animal behavior is different. Suppose that may be diurnal or nocturnal. Diurnal means what? Some animals are only active during the light. In the presence of light, animals are inactive. In the absence of light, animals will not be active in case of diurnal. It is opposite to this, nocturnal. Some animals are active in the absence of light. In the presence of light, they will be inactive. Example, cockroach, earthworm, bats, owl, like animals. Diurnal, human beings. We are active during the light. 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night is decided by our biological clock. Melanin hormone secreted by the epithalamus. Epithalamus works on the temperature. In the temperature, melanin hormone will not be secreted, so that our body or BMR will be high. Whereas when lights off, nothing but sunlight was fall, light fall in the evenings, or the followed by the night, also our body is inactive because that melanin secretions be present. Now, and this is the photoperiodism. And for the photoperiodism, some migrations also there. Migrations. Some birds from the Siberia, they migrated to India because of the breeding. Their breeding time in the Siberia is a cold season, so that they want some light. I mean, nothing but temperature is required for the reproduction also. Reproductive activities. For the reproductive activities, temperature and light is also important. Some and also phototrophism. Phototrophism. What is phototrophism? Growth towards light. Growth towards light. Growth towards light is called phototrophism. Any plant, due to the presence of oxygens, they grow towards the light only. Another one on the temperature and light proportions, that is the photokinetic. Photokinetic. Photokinetic means what? Movements towards light. Movement towards light. Suppose this may be positive or negative. Positive photokinetic and a negative photokinetic. Positive photokinetic means what? Animals though are attracting towards light. Suppose when we on the light, some insects are coming towards the light. It is a photokinetic. Light is deciding, light itself deciding the animal movement towards it. Some animals are move away from the light. When we switch on, then some cockroach-like animals are away. They go to the shady areas and all. So that is an opposite one. Negative movement that is away from light. Positive movement that is towards light. Both are different. So animal movement is called photokinetic. Plant growth is called phototrophism, and photoperiodism. During the light, some changes are happening. All these, and also temperature gives a suspend, and sometimes hibernation and estivation, summer sleep and winter sleep. Hibernation, that is summer winter sleep. Estivation, that is a summer sleep. This time some animals like frogs and some toads are inactive. They consume their BMI is very less. They consume low oxygen and that body is completely inactive. That stage is called diapause. And some zooplanktons are also suspend their activities, remain constant, and when light appears, they start their life cycles. This is called diapause. So this is how the temperature and light together impact on living organisms in so many ways. Okay, if you see the plants, macrothermal plants will be there. Macrothermal means plants which are living in high temperature areas, nothing but tropical forests. And mesothermal plants. Mesothermal plants means the plants that are living in moderate temperature areas. And microthermal and less temperature areas. And halothermal, hiscothermal, nothing but they are living in snow areas, halophytes. Okay. So temperature decides their habits, temperature decides their movement, temperature and light decides their growth, temperature decides their body activities. Because of the temperature, some adaptations are there. If we talk about the adaptations, some animals, though living in the polar areas, okay, particularly endothermal animals, this question is very important. This is called Allen's rule. Allen's rule is telling that, see here, there are two rules are important here. One is Allen's rule. According to the Allen's rule, this is also called extreme ice. Endothermal animals, nothing but animals though have warm blooded, their ear openings are nothing but their extreme heights are the body openings, their baby ears are always bigger. Why? Because they have to lose their heat. And Bregman's rule is there. Bregman's rule. According to the Bregman's rule, in the colder areas, animal size is very large. If you see the polar bear or what's called it is blue whale. So all these animals size is very large because conserving the heat, and also the surface is very large. So these two are also telling the adaptations. In case of plants, pinnate leaves, instead of the, if the leaf is with the large lamina, because of the transpiration, evaporation will be there, plant undergo the water loss. So instead of these kind of things, the leaves will be like this pinnate leaves. So transpiration rate will be less. And also they adopt some open shear like plants or storage leaves. They have storage system. They have and protected leafy like structures are there. So many adaptations are there from plants. And also another abiotic factor is what everyone knows that water has a very important role in the living organisms. So according to the water, animals are euryhaline and stenohaline. So these two are depends upon the salinity. Salinity means what? Salt percentage per mole. How much it is dissolved in the water. The salinity would be 5% in the inland waters. Inland water systems, freshwater systems we can call up, that is 5% salinity. Whereas 30 to 35% in oceans. Whereas greater than 100% in lagoons, brackish waters. So this is how the salinity will be maintained in different water systems. Then what is euryhaline and what is the stenohaline? Means euryhaline animals are regulators, and stenohaline animals are conformers. So suppose this is the internal medium and this is the external medium. Number of changes will happen in the external medium, but euryhaline organisms internal medium will not be changed. It is remain constant. It is always same. Whereas if it is the stenohaline, according to the changes occurred in the external medium, they will also change. So that stenohaline animals cannot be regulate themselves, that they will become conformers. So whereas euryhaline animals can be regulated. So according to the water, animals have some problems that are endoosmosis we can call up, and exoosmolysis. Exoosmolysis. Endoosmolysis means what? Inside the cell, water will enter generally as they are aquatic organisms. As water fills more, cell become bulge and burst. Then that is called endoosmolysis. Exoosmolysis means what? When water lost too much from the cells, they may be terrestrial, then shell becomes shrink and rupture. This is the problem of exoosmolysis. So that's how these kind of problems will be overcome by the living organisms. If you see some protozoans like amoeba, paramecium and all, this is the amoeba. How the amoeba? Amoeba is a single celled living organism, belongs to the protozoa. It's not animal, it is an animal-like organism. Then inside if water enters, they have a particular structure is called contractile vacuole. Contractile vacuole is present. This contractile vacuole expels the water which is excess inside that. So that if we remove the contractile vacuole, amoeba will be within minutes, amoeba will be bulge and burst and die. Due to the presence of contractile vacuole, freshwater protozoans are surviving. That is an adaptation. Whereas if the protozoan is marine, contractile vacuole should be absent. Why? Because water which is coming inside is very less. If contractile vacuole is present, the little amount of water which enter will go out. Then the organism shrinks and dies. That is why freshwater protozoans should have contractile vacuole is adaptation. Marine protozoans do not have contractile vacuole. So this is adaptation from protozoans. In case of fishes, fishes may be there in freshwater, may be there in marine water. How freshwater and marine water fishes are behaving, adopted characters in their habitat, nothing but water. In case of a fish which is freshwater, then they do not have a glomerulus, so that aglomerular kidney they have. Because of absence of glomerulus, urine will be very dilute, not concentrated. As diluted means what? Urine consists of more water. The fish is living in fresh water now, so that water is entering, so water is ejecting. That is why dilute urine is an adaptation of freshwater fishes. On the other hand, if the fish is marine, then what happens? They have a glomerular kidney. As glomerulus is present, they secrete concentric urine. Concentric urine means what? Water is less, salts are more. As animal is living in the marine water, salts are entering more. So that salts ejecting more. Water will be conserved. This is how large animals like fishes in aquatic organisms, in aquatic conditions, they are adapting. So this is what about the different types of adaptations and lifestyle influences from the biotic factor. What? The last biotic factor, that is sand. Sand is nothing but soil. Okay. The soil properties, if you observe, properties of soil, they should have a mineral content, and also aggregation, and also percolation, water holding capacity, pH, temperature, topography. These all are very important for the living organism's existence towards the soil properties. How does we can say this is a good soil or bad soil? A good soil consists of 40% of mineral content. Mineral content of the soil out of 100, 40% should be rich. And secondly, 10% of humus, and 25% of water, and 25% of soil, air. So these all are very important to decide whether the soil is good or bad in condition for existence of living organisms. This is important. This is how the soil helps living organisms. So if you see the response of abiotic factors towards the living organisms, This is the external medium. This is internal medium. So external medium, internal medium together be balanced by regulators. The definition of regulators is their osmoregulation will be done. In case of regulators, their internal medium will never be changed. According to the changes occurring external medium. Whereas they are always stable. Whereas according to the changes occurring in the external medium, they will be adjusted. They are conformers. They are conformers. Who are conformers? 99% of animals are conformers, and almost of all plants in the living world, all are conformers. Whereas regulators, birds and mammals, these are examples. External medium cannot be maintained lifelong. Till some point they are maintained, later they become failed. They are partial regulators. They are partial regulators. In the hibernation, respiration, like that can be seen. But if you see that euryhaline and euryhaline, bony fishes. Bony fishes are example for euryhaline, whereas stenohaline, shark. Bony fish is example if you want salmon fish. Is the euryhaline. Then this is stenohaline. That is a regulator. This is a conformer in particular exception. Okay. So this is what some part of organism populations have been completed. Now let the time to discuss about the population. Till now we have discussed about organisms, how they are behaved with the abiotic factors. Now time to discuss about the different types of attributions in the population. How to define a population? Group of similar type of species together is called population. Study of population. Study about population is called demography. Demography. In case of study about human population, that is human demography. There is nothing but census. Every 10 years we use it to calculate the population growth. That is by census. Demography is the branch. The population attributes are so many are there. Here, one kind is birth. It will be denoted by small b. Nothing but a new individual born. Whereas death, it will be considered as small d. A living organism is eliminated. And natality, birth rate. It can be considered as capital N. What is definition of birth rate? Number of births in a particular time in a given area are nothing but number of births per capita is called natality or birth rate. Mortality, number of deaths, nothing but death rate. Number of deaths per capita. Per capita means what? Per unit area in unit time, given time. That can be denoted as capital M. Next, immigration. A person was not born in a particular place. He was born in other place because of needs, because of some job, because of some purpose of niche, some destination, because of some requirements. He has migrated from one born place to another place. So immigrant is called immigrant. I. Nothing but addition to existing population. Now, emigration means what? The one who born in a particular place and left the place to other places, then that person is called emigrant and the process is called emigration. This is considered as E. This is nothing but deletion. So these all are the attributes. Apart from that, population density will be there. Density NT plus 1 is equal to NT into number of births plus number of immigrants minus number of deaths plus number of emigrants. So total this is called population density. Here NT plus 1 means nothing but we are calculating the density compared to the old census, and that is the present density means that is the number of births and number of immigrants minus number of deaths and number of immigrants. Understand? So apart from this, age groups in the population also one of the important factors deciding the population growth. Let us see what are they in detail. In any group of population, there are three different age groups will be there. In that, number one is pre-reproductive age group people. Number two is reproductive age group people. Reproductive age group people. Number three is post-reproductive age group people. So suppose this is the pre-reproductive age group people. That is number one. Pre-reproductive age. Whereas next, second one is that reproductive age group people. Pre-reproductive age group people are about 1000, and reproductive group people are 800. Whereas post-reproductive group people, third category, post-reproductive group people, they are about 400. So total strength of this particular given population is 1000 plus 800 plus 400. So 2200. 2200 is the population. What kind of model it shows for the further generations? Means as these people are going to be eliminated, and these high people who are in the pre-reproductive place, more number is there. Definitely this group will be expansible. So it is expandable generation. Future generation will be more greater than 2200, because the reason is compared to the post-reproduction, reproductive and pre-reproductive groups people are higher and this is low. That is the reason that the population growth will be grow, nothing but increase. Second thing, if the pre-reproductive and post-reproductive, pre-reproductive is also 1000, post-reproductive is also 1000, reproductive is also 1000, post-reproductive is also nearly 500, then what type of growth it will be? It will be stable. It will be a stable population. Why? Because these two are same. In this case, these two are high. Pre-reproductive is greater than reproductive. Reproductive is greater than post-reproductive. But in conclusion, compared to the post-reproductive, reproductive and pre-reproductive population is greater. That is why this population future growth is increased. Whereas here these two are same, compared to this, these two are greater, but these two are same, population will be stable. Suppose it will be 2500, in future also nearly 2500 only. That is a bell shaped. This is a pyramid. Third one is that whereas here 500 members of pre-reproductive people are there, 800 of reproductive people are there, 1000 members of post-reproductive people are there. All together is 1300 persons in the population. But future growth is declined. Why? Compared to the pre-reproductive and reproductive, post-reproductive is high. So in future the 1000 will be died and it will not be overcome the 1300. That is why decline. So age pyramids are three types: expandable, or increase, or stable, and decline. So who decides that increase means pre-reproductive and reproductive should be greater than post-reproductive. Vice versa, then it will be decline. So this is another factor, that is age pyramids. By the help of age pyramids, we can say that the population should be increased or declined in further generations. Now, the last attribute in the population calculations, that is growth models. Growth models, we can expect any question in this NEET examination. Growth models are two types. One is exponential growth model. Second one is logistic growth model. In the exponential growth model, we made the correlation between population density and the time. Then we got the graph that is in J shape. Which shape of graph has been found in the exponential growth? Nothing but J shape. Whereas the same factors we have taken for the correlation between x and y axis, that is the population density with the time. Then we got S-shaped, the sigmoid curve. We can say this. So that is the different curve. This is the different curve. Y. See, in case of exponential population, the population growth was unlimited. Population growth was unlimited because of innumerous resources are there about the food and shelter. In a particular area, for one organism, unlimited food will be there, unlimited resource will be there, then the population growth will be increased like just like a rocket. Then it is always up. So if you see the formula, population density NT is equal to N naught logarithm. ERT, that is nothing but the base of the natural logarithm. So here population density in a particular population time is equal to Rn. Then what is R here? R means intrinsic rate of natural resource. Simply R means D minus D. Number of births minus number of deaths is equal to R. Understand? Now, if you understand that this formula, in the exponential growth, resources are unlimited, so that they are going like this. On the other hand, that is a logistic growth will be there. Organisms first they have grown very fast. This is called lag. This is called log phase. In the log phase, the particular organism is growing very fast. Then later they have happened the lag. Then they become a stationary. So log, lag, and the stationary phases will be there. Because of these three, or the particular curve will become sigmoid shape. That is what it's called S shape. Here the factor will be there. That is called carrying capacity. K is equal to carrying capacity. Whereas there is no carrying capacity in case of exponential growth. In logistic growth, carrying capacity is not there. Because of the carrying capacity, it means until the sources are there, they have grown very well. Once the source have become limited, and the population number will be stabilized population. So that formula will be here, dn by dt, density by time is equal to Rn into K minus n by n. Here K is equal to carrying capacity. Carrying capacity will not be applicable here. In case of exponential, there is no carrying capacity. Formula is dn by dt into is equal to Rn. Whereas in the logistic, this is the S shape and dn by dt is equal to Rn into K minus n by n. Here, sorry, K minus n by K. Here the K is carrying capacity. Understand? Then what is NT? Population density after time. That is measured by T. What is N naught? Population density at the time 0 initial. And what is R? I told you that R means number of births minus number of deaths. That nothing but intrinsic rate of natural increase. Then what is E? That is the base of the natural logarithm. The value is 2.71828. So this is how these two are comparable. You also prepare with the comparison side by side, not after one. Side by side, if you do graphs you prepare, then you will get definitely clarity on this. Okay. Now let us move to the population interactions. How one organism is interacting with another organism, what kind of relation it can be called as. The edge of this lesson, organisms and populations, the concept is population interactions. So this time interaction with other organisms, nothing but biotic factors. So according to the interactions of the different populations, suppose A organism is interacted with the B organism, and is the A is getting benefit or loss or nothing. Let us see on the mode. If it is getting benefit or not loss, then it will become a positive. So that some interactions will become positive. In positive interaction, A organism is interacting with the B organism, in that A is getting positive or not loss, then that would be considered as positive interactions. On the other hand, there will be a negative interactions will be there. In this case, A organism is interacting with the B organism, but A is getting loss or zero. No, but not benefit. So positive interactions are three types. Type 1 is mutualism, type 2 is proton cooperation, and type 3 is commensalism. Let us see one by one with suitable examples. Mutualism. Mutualism is a positive interaction of population interaction in which both the organisms which are involved in that interactions are getting benefit. A organism is also getting benefit, B organism is also getting benefit. So that A plus and B plus. Example, mycorrhiza. In mycorrhiza, one algae plus one fungi together living and forms mesh-like structures by the filaments of fungal filaments. For that, algae is providing nourishment by the photosynthesis. These two are together living without any one benefit, without any one loss. Both are getting benefit. So this is the best example. On the other example, on the other side, orchids and insects. Insects mainly pollinated insects are doing pseudo-copulation on the orchid flowers. So that orchid flowers are giving host to the laying eggs for the particular what called some insects like wasps. Insects mainly wasps. So wasp is getting placed or site for laying, whereas orchids are getting benefit by insect pollination, anemophily, from one flower to another flower. When they are migrating, the pollen grains are also migrating. Both are co-evaluation. Second one, which is also a kind of positive population interaction, that is proton cooperation. Proton cooperation is just similar to mutualism. The difference is both are getting benefit, but by the both organisms are plus. Whereas here the habitats are different. Sea anemone, nothing but Nidarian, that is associating with the hermit crab. Hermit crab, which is a very large crab. On the hermit crab, this is sea anemone. They have spines like this. This is the sea anemone. Sea anemone have spines. No animal may interested to eat it because of it is a spiny. Mouth will be bleed, so that. So hermit crab is there like this. Then the sea animals will be placed on the shell of the crab. The crab is also will be protected by the predators. So the sea anemone is getting benefit, right? Sea anemone is eating passively after the eating of crabs. If the crab eats something, the pieces may reach to the sea anemone. So sea anemone is also getting benefit. So sea anemone is getting benefit of food from hermit crab. Hermit crab is getting protection from the sea anemone. Now, crocodiles and flamingo birds. Usually, crocodiles' mouth is very narrow, and some crocodiles are carnivorous. So, as they are eating fishes and all that meat and small spiny pieces are stuck in between the teeth, they cannot remove by their hand as their arms are very short. That's why they open their mouth long time. These long beaked flaming birds, nothing but cranes, they will go and put their long beaks inside the mouth of the crocodile. That time crocodile never harm to that bird. They know that birds has come to relieve the sticky, the sticked food particles between the teeth. By that interaction, flamingo birds are getting feed from the crocodile. Crocodiles are also getting relieved from the pain and some nasty things. Now, commensalism. This is another one, but here one organism is getting benefiting, but not another organism is not benefit, but not loss also. It is neutral. Then epiphytes will be there. Vanda-like plants are living on the bigger trees, taller trees branches. So their roots will be go to the xylem of that host tree. Host tree will supply, then Vanda will be benefit. Because of the Vanda, host tree is nothing benefitable. So that Vanda will be benefit, host tree is not benefit. And bacteria present in the human digestive system. E. coli is living in our digestive system, which used to kill so many organisms by their acids. We are getting benefit. Because of that, bacteria is not getting benefit. Sometimes they may grow. And sea anemone and clone fishes. This is the sea anemone. The largest sea anemones between the small pines, the clone fishes will be there. As this is not ready to eatable, clone fishes are also escaping from the predators. If the clone fishes are living alone, bigger fishes will come and eat. These clone fishes are very small fishes. They are present in between the spines of the sea anemone. So because of that sea anemone, they are getting protection. Because of the clone fishes, sea anemone is not getting beneficial. So that here this is clone fishes, this is hermit sea anemone. That's nothing but Nidarian. So all these are under the positive interactions. On the other hand, negative interactions are there. The first one is parasitism. In the parasitism, A is equal to host, B is equal to parasite. So that host is producing protection, host is producing food, host is producing the shelter. All three are getting benefit by parasite only. So that A is equal to host, A is equal to parasite, B is equal to host. In case parasites which are living on the host, this is called ectoparasites, just like our headbugs and ticks and mites. Then leeches, all these are living on animals. Now they are also maybe temporary or permanent. Endoparasites, parasites which are living inside, ascaris, entamoebiasis, called Careria, all these are endoparasites, malarial parasites and all. Endoparasites, they may live inside the body, inside the tissue, histozoic parasites, inside the cavities, coeliozoic parasites, inside the cell, cytozoic parasites. Cytozoic parasites, example malaria, histozoic parasites, example ascaris, coeliozoic parasites, example ascaris, and Teliasodium. Brood parasitism, cuckoo, that lays eggs in a crow nest. Crow unknowingly hatch the eggs and become cuckoo. So this is also for the reproduction and the development of their babies. They are using the other nests. That is the brood parasitism. Another one is a predation. Predation, nothing but one trophical level is depends upon another trophical level. If this is the trophical level 1, here producers will be there, here primary consumers will be there, here secondary consumers will be there. So primary consumers are predating producers and secondary consumers are predating primary consumers. Nothing but herbivores. So that this is the food chain, this is ultimate source of ecosystem. So in the predation, one will be get benefit, one will be lost. For the balancing, that first below level organisms number is huge. Suppose the plants are very huge in number, and next level is herbivorous, next level is carnivorous. Carnivorous are less in number, and primary producers are more in number. Herbivorous is second place, like that. And for the predation, so many are there. A tiger is a predator for the deer or rabbits. A shark is predator for the smaller fishes. So shark number is lesser than the smaller fishes. Next. Competition. The competition for what? For food or maybe shelter. This competition is very severe in case of between the same species. That is called intraspecific competition. Intraspecific competition. Next one is interspecific competition. So interspecific competition means what? Competition between two different types of species. Nothing but fighting between lion and tiger. Interspecific. Fighting between two tigers. Intraspecific. So when it is happen, fighting between competition between two tigers will happen for the same type of food or also mating. So this is very severe. Among the two, intra and inter, which is competition is very severe means intraspecific. Why? For the two reasons. One is for food, another one is for shelter or mating. But whereas interspecific, it is maybe for food and shelter, not for mating. That's why intraspecific competitions are a danger compared to the interspecific. So how to overcome that kind of things, intraspecific? Otherwise, the two become lost now. So to avoid that particular thing, there is a resource partitioning. So same type of animals have the same types of habits. Two tigers have the same type of habits, nothing but this. If they are partitioning the time or partitioning the food, then they can survive easily. Resource partitioning, it is called. Otherwise, what will happen? Due to the competition, animals will be coexist. If you see the prediction also, coexisting will be there. Galapagos cactus is predicted by the moth, so that moth is completely eradicated the species of cactus in Australia. There is some beneficial thing like that. Cats are eradicating the population of rats. Just like Emmensalism. In the emmensalism, one organism is going to be lost, another organism is neutral. So here are some examples of insects also. So this is all together population interactions. With this, I can say that the chapter is completed and second year is almost finished. Among the second year, we're gonna conduct some examination. We just call it. Thank you. All the best.